They couldn't wait. They actually can't wait. The internet can't go 24 goddamn hours without canceling some celebrity for a bullshit reason. I just made a video on some shit like this. God damn, are people really this miserable? Do people have nothing going on in their lives? Again, as I said in yesterday's video, people have broke the fucking record for the stupidest shit that someone's canceled someone for. This guy said dyke, and he's getting canceled for it. What the fuck is the internet? So this guy Corpse Husband, who I've only known of for about like maybe 3 weeks, because he's like in the whole Among Us videos with like PewDiePie, with like Moist Critical, like he's always in those lobbies, so that's the only way I've heard of him. But other than the few Among Us videos that he's put out recently, this guy's basically like a scary story channel. He has like a deep ass voice, and he tells like subscribers' story of like some scary ass shit. 5 creepiest, most popular scary stories on Reddit. So yeah, you guys get the idea of what he does on his channel. And as I just mentioned briefly, he has this like series on his channel where he reads like subscribers' stories that his subscribers tell him to read out loud, because he has like some deep ass voice. He like talks in a really weird ass way, so it like makes it creepy. You'll guys get the idea when I play a clip of his voice in about a few seconds. But basically, he's getting canceled over reading someone else's story, and in that story about the horror film, he said the word dyke. Now I want you guys to think about the history lesson that you guys were in when you were in school, when you were first learning about slavery. Maybe you're reading that book like Huckleberry Finn or whatever the fuck it's called, where the teacher read out loud the hard R. And if you would do popcorn reading, where other kids in the class, they would read the book as well. Maybe one of your kids, maybe one of your classmates, they said the hard R, because it's storytelling. It's to inform people on a situation of what the fuck's going on. Now I want you to think, is your teacher racist for doing that shit? Fuck no. And also, when we're talking about the impact of the N-word, that has a really fucked up and bad history, so it makes a lot of sense if a black person would get offended if a white person said it. For a word like dyke, sure, there's probably oppression, and sure, probably people made fun of lesbians, calling them dykes and shit like that, but that is nowhere near comparable to the N-word and the impact that that holds. And that's all on top of the fact that this guy was just telling a fucking story that a sub wrote into him. Like, are we trolling? Like, what the fuck is the internet? Attempting to cancel people over storytelling is just gonna lose fucking meaning for all actual slurs that hold value, like the N-word. You really think there isn't gonna be some type of ricochet that happens if you keep canceling people over the smallest shit? Eventually, people are just gonna get fucking fed up because they're getting canceled over the stupidest shit like storytelling. And then once people get fed up, these words are gonna hold less meaning, and there's gonna be a huge group of people who are using these words in a derogatory way where they shouldn't, like the N-word. Same shit with the Karen bullshit going on right now. People are getting their videos demonetized just for having Karen in the title. They're acting like getting called Karen is being oppressed, and there's some oppressed group, which just pisses in the faces of actual oppressed people. If something as stupid as Karen can become a slur, then shit with actual history behind it, like the N-word, that shit's just gonna get overlooked, and no one's gonna care about that anymore because of how the ridiculous boy cried wolf slurs that are going on right now. But back on topic, basically this corpse guy, he read out a sub story where he said the word dyke, which the sub literally put in to the story. So what the fuck are you blaming him for? It's not like he's just taking a random term to describe a lesbian. No, he's just reading a fucking piece of paper. But there were so many people spamming this guy, telling him to apologize and just getting on his ass for it. So eventually he released a statement saying this. And this is about a minute long, and it's pretty hard to sit through, so just bear with me, because it's some really cringy ass shit.
Hey, wanted to address this whenever I did the Q&A live stream so I could better explain it on a bigger platform live, but I woke up to a ton of DMs from people and I thought I should do it right away. For those of you who don't know, primarily I've done true horror story narration for years on my channel. The stories are sent in by my viewers, they write all of it, and I narrate their story to share their experience of what they've gone through with the world. These are real life experiences of, like, real shit that people go through. About a year ago, I was sent in a story from someone who's trans. I was glad to cover this story despite some backlash I might get from, like, boomers and shit, because I wanted to show the struggles of what trans people go through, and I support trans people. TLDR, the story is about an old Christian woman who is trying to hurt them and do horrible things to them. During the story, the person who is trans is called the D word. In the video, I read the word out loud, and I realize now I shouldn't have done that. I didn't realize the severity of the word, or else I obviously wouldn't have said it. There are over 2,000 comments on the video, and none of them mention it. I had no idea this hurt anybody at all, and that's the last thing I want to do. I've taken the video down now, I understand my mistake, and I'm sorry. Thank you to the people trying to teach me about this. Some people were just blindly hating me, but most of the people I've seen have been very reasonable, and I really appreciate that. I'm probably going to get off everything for a little bit. Thank you.
Why the fuck are you apologizing? Obviously, I can't be mad at him because all he really wants to do is just not to offend someone, but just making a statement like this over saying the word dyke in a storytelling manner, like, defend your fucking self. You can still get the message across that you don't want to hurt anyone and you don't want to offend anyone by saying this word, but also, you shouldn't just take everything that's getting spewed at you. Like, at least defend yourself and say, you know what, I'm a storytelling channel, and this is kind of bullshit that people are getting mad at me when I'm just reading out someone else's story. And as you guys can expect, some of the tweets about this shit are complete AIDS. Trigger warning, dyke. Wow, I really needed a fucking warning there. By the way, I don't want Corp's husband to get canceled at all, but I do want an apology, because as a lesbian, I have a lot of trauma related to the word, and I want him to realize that he shouldn't have said it. Oh no, he shouldn't have said some shit when he was reading out a story. Oh, fuck. I'm so goddamn offended because someone else is reading a story about something. You're really one pathetic fuck, aren't you? Why is Corp's husband canceled? What did he even do? He said it because a trans person submitted a trauma that they went through, and in it, they were called the D-slur. The fucking D-slur. He acknowledged it and apologized, but now a trans person's story is lost and untold because of all this. Bro, what the fuck did you even say? I can't understand shit you said. Yeah, probably because she said the D-slur. Think about 20 years down the line if this shit keeps happening. Every single sentence is going to have the A-slur, the D-slur, the S-slur, the Q-slur. It's just going to be a whole bunch of sentences of, oh, I can't say this because I want to beat around the bush. I don't want to say anything I don't want to. It's just fucking stupid. I don't know what you mean. Corp said the D-slur. That's literally what he's talking about. No one knows what the fucking D-slur is. When I first watched the apology video of Corpse, I had to check the comments just to find out what the fucking D-slur was. Corpse said the D-slur because he was narrating a story from a trans person. He got canceled for it. He apologized. He deleted the story, and now story is gone. And as you could guess, more people are confused what the D-slur is. The D-slur? Dumb? What the fuck are you talking about? What boomers call masculine lesbians, which is, and this is the best part, ladies and fucking gentlemen, take a look at this shit. This is for educational purposes only. Please don't come for me for saying this. And then she says the fucking word dyke. You realize by saying this, you just made the whole group who's getting mad at Corpse look like fucking clowns. By justifying saying the word dyke for saying this is for educational purposes only, what the fuck do you think Corpse did when he was telling a story about a trans person? He was telling the story for educational purposes only. So with this same goddamn logic that you use to say the word dyke, it's the same logic that Corpse is using to say the word in a storytelling manner to get across a traumatic story from a trans person. I'm fucking done with the internet. We can't go a week without another cancel story. We can't even go 24 goddamn hours without someone getting bored and just canceling someone on the internet. This shit is fucked. At least Arthur is still staying true to his native roots.
He's a knitter!